Hey guys, trying to get a good frame here. How we doing? I'm here to go live with Peter Crone. Waiting for everybody to come on. Let's see if I can get a better look here than like a TV in the background, you know? I guess I should have planned this before. Oh, there's the TV. Anyways, it's fine. All right, Peter Crone is there. Let's let him on. All right, Pedro. Pedro is coming on.
Hello.
Yes.
Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you. I'm trying to oh, you have like a nice background.
I got my very futuristic Cameron Gray.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good, my dear. How are you?
I'm great. Fabulous.
I was
Loving
amazed
the
at
sunny weather.
how many people happened to jump on during our test.
I know, right? We did a test on my old private account, but we've got people from Turkey and London and
Yeah,
wow,
it's
very
quite
cool.
impressive. I
Very
was on a very big influencers live yesterday, and there were like 80 people, and yet we do a test, and there was almost 200.
And look, there's 340 now. That's amazing.
Yes.
Cool.
What's going on? Tell me how you are. Let's do a little just private one-on-one. No one watching. Just catch up.
No, yeah, I'm gonna let me open my heart before some people pop on.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. I think that 2024 has been a new energy for me, and
Nice.
so I'm just cleaning up my act and peeling back the layers. There's always healing to do. It's pretty wild, but
It's
I'm
never
excited.
ending.
I'm really excited. I'm literally this is not a promotion. I'm really excited for your mastermind course because it's
Yeah.
coming at a great time.
It's my favorite thing to do. I feel as much as I'm the one leading it, like I'm also the beneficiary, right? Because there's such a beautiful community of people who are so committed to getting beyond their limitations, constraints, and there's so much love and support that everybody can feel because you're in front of a lot of people when people are sharing what they're going through, and it takes courage, but then you see how many people step up. They can relate. They're like, I have the same thing, I'm here for you. And it's like, oh my God, the whole, as cliche as is, you're not alone. Oh, someone said they'll be in the mastermind. Awesome. We're definitely represented here. I've seen Holland, Sweden, Miami, Argentina, like pretty impressive. New Zealand,
Yeah,
India.
I know. And it's amazing. It's amazing what technology can do. New Zealand. I'm having, a little bit of Wi-Fi issues. I don't know why, but hopefully we'll continue to
That's
have
okay. You're not too bad. You look a little soft focused, but that's very old Hollywood.
meant to do that. Okay, we'll see if I can get some Wi-Fi here. Yeah, so let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah. What would you
Because,
like to know?
I mean, I saw the amazing, testimony from the woman who her endometriosis just cleared
Yeah.
itself up after a massive conversation with you and just like a full healing.
It's so crazy. I mean, I can't claim stake to being a healer, right? Like I think there's a lot of people who are like, "Oh, you're a healer," and I'm just pointing out a new perspective that helps people to heal themselves, right? And it's not even they that are doing it. Our body's always trying to heal, as you know, from the beautiful documentary that I was honored to be in that you put together. Like healing is constantly happening, right? Our body is always in a state of self-repair. The question is, to what degree are we in the way of that? To what degree are we inhibiting that? To what degree are we actually creating a toxic environment that makes it even more difficult for our body to heal? So when it comes to the state of, work that I do, the deep subconscious limitations that people have, that's so in conflict with healing, because if you're living in a state of fight or flight, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not loved, I'm not safe, all of these very primal constraints that people have, then your body is in a constant state of dis-ease, the absence of ease, right? So energetically, the whole endocrine system is overworking, cortisol, norepinephrine, adrenaline, all of this is being dumped into our system. So with that woman who had stage 4 endometriosis, her main constraint was the feeling that she doesn't matter. And it's not a feeling so much as who she is, like who she is or was for herself, as she doesn't matter. And when you live in that place, you can feel like the pointlessness, the isolation, the feeling of worthlessness, the fact that she would very readily compromise herself in relationships. And so she's in a state of complete self-judgment. And in this case, it was just located in her reproductive organs. And so when she saw that that's not a truth, right, a little trailer of what I do with people is help them see the constraint they're in, the limitation, which is always self-defeating, is not a fundamental truth. And then I ask a question like, what would become available for you if you didn't live like that? If you didn't think that? They're like, wow, I mean, I'd feel so free. I'd feel like I could do anything. And that's the energy that we're tapping into. And it's from that space that her body was given the freedom and the liberty to do what it's always trying to do, which is heal. So it never ceases to amaze me. We had someone also with cancer, same thing happened, you know, like she's like had so much resentment towards her mom. She didn't realize she was the one carrying the hatred. She was the one drinking the poison of her own judgment of her own mom, which then manifested as sickness, call it cancer, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But when she realized she was like judging her mom for being her mom, right? Like mom is so contaminated, as you know, like mom guilt is huge. But when I help to see, you know, your mom is Deborah or Sally or Kelly, you know, it's just a human doing the best they can. It brings in that compassion and you realize, oh, I'm the one creating the hostility, the abuse of myself in the way that I'm portraying somebody. And I gave this example, it was very profound. Like you have a TV behind you, she had a clock behind her. And I said to her, do you have resentment towards the clock? And she's like a little confused. She's like, no, what do you mean? I said, well, the clock, like, do you judge the clock? She's like, no. I said, why? She's, well, it's just the way it is. I'm like, okay. So then apply that same philosophy to your mom. And she really got it. And she actually made a t-shirt that said a clock is just a clock.
That's funny.
And it was so beautiful in the community. Everyone's like, I want one of those, realizing that they've got their version of whoever they're judging, whoever they're making wrong, which is, as Shakespeare said, hatred is a curved blade, right? So the hatred that she was having towards her mother was actually within her. So to dissipate that, to watch it, to witness it in a community where it happens so many times it's a privilege of a lifetime for me.
Yeah, it's such a great opportunity to work with you, and you do, you know, get so much, even if you're not personally the one sharing, you get so much resonance with, you know, inevitably you're going to hear the story that is exactly what's going to click on the awareness for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's just such, like, to get to work with you. I've worked with you intimately, like for 15 years, I think now, off and on, right? And got to work like where I signed up, and it's a big commitment, but I was like, I'm going to do your 3 months or your 6 months. And this, in this group setting at a more, you know, accessible cost, like it's so I just want to like reiterate, it's so wild that just something that, like a process that you walk us through, how different once the light bulb goes off, like autonomically in your body, in my body. Let me just put it, I know you like language. So when I've worked with you in my body and you helped me to reframe through your process and become aware of what I've been holding on to or what I've been judging or the beliefs that I've been swimming in. And just, you know, once I have that awareness, it's like without any conscious, you know, efforting, my chest opens up, my heart opens up, my shoulders drop, and you breathe deeper. It's like you're giving the awareness to the mind, and then the body just follows, and you start to reprogram the constructs of your mind in a new, beautiful way. And then that allows that release of energy and the flow of things again, so that your body can heal what it knows it needs to heal and get rid of. It's wild. It's
so profound. And I think we're so misinformed that it's up to us to do something, right? Like, it's like, that's often the question I get. People are like, well, what do I do? How do I get rid of my fill in the blank, whatever their issue is, right? And albeit it's a well-intended and we could argue an intelligent question because we want to solve our problems, that's not where you solve your problems from. Because the person that you are that has the current condition is the obstacle to the life that you want, right? If people really get that. So the person who's, what do I do to get rid of this? Well, the I that's trying to do something is the precursor to the condition. And it doesn't have to be physical. It could be your relationships. It could be your finances. And so, in the most loving way, what I'm doing is I'm getting rid of the you that you think you are to reveal what's on the other side of that, right? So, and from that place, that's where the healing happens because the previous iteration of you was the constraint. Underneath that, healing is waiting to happen. It's not that you, with your limitation, that I'm not enough, that I'm not worthy, that I'm not safe, that version of you can't heal. It can only be dissolved and let go of. And that's why the work is so profound, because most people are staying where they are, their foot is nailed to the floor, and then they'll follow experts and specialists of what should I do to get rid of the condition that I keep creating.
You got to get rid of the I.
Exactly. Yeah. And so the
Condition.
dissolution of the idea of oneself, which to the eye can sound, a little bit threatening, which it is the most profound and beautiful way to live life. I say, to truly be alive, you have to constantly die. Like a snake that sheds its skin. In this case, we're just shedding. Oh my God, that hit. Someone really got that. Beautiful. So like it's recognizing that life is always there. It's always present. It's always coming to us. But there is, just like our skin or our hair or our nails, there is a perpetual movement. Hang on, I'm going to get rid of.
Uh-oh.
I have a limit. I set a limit on my Instagram, so it might be, I might disappear.
Oh no.
Anyway, yeah, no, I think I got rid of it. Maybe not. If I disappear, I'll just come back on, everyone. So the I that we think of ourselves to be is the constraint that we're trying to get rid of. So just like, as I was saying, hair, nails, they all move from the inside out. And we don't hold on to our skin cells, right? Like, we know that new skin is being born. It's no different with our identity. The degree to which we can have the courage and the faith to constantly let go of this current iteration of ourselves, such that a new version of us comes forth, is the degree to which we can maintain vitality, freedom, and a sense of true aliveness.
Yeah, and the themes that keep coming up for me in the last few weeks, and as you know, I talk to a lot of different experts with a lot of different modalities and courses and everything, is safety. We cannot be our authentic selves. We cannot be the you with the capital Y, the true you, the you that came into this world perfect, divine, innocent, bursting with creative gifts, you, before we got conditioned and clamped down by our environment and programming.
Yeah.
We cannot be our authentic selves until we feel safe in the world. And 99.9% of us, because we were raised by people in survival, doing the best they can, didn't have the tools, products of Depression era parents, et cetera, we were programmed and conditioned with constraints, or our needs, emotional needs weren't met, so we developed beliefs about ourselves that we're not lovable, or like your endometriosis friend, no longer believed that she didn't matter. And so inevitably, with those beliefs running the subconscious show, or the lens we look through at life is not safe. We're in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And so our nervous system isn't even allowing us to see the truth about reality, because we are in these, triggered states all the time, chronically. And so it's so like this, the mastermind course is going to clean that lens so that we can drop into a nervous system that is regulated, so that we go into fight, flight, or freeze for a moment, for survival, for a stressor, and then we can then get our body back into parasympathetic and actually feel safe in the world, so that we can perceive all of reality and can express our authentic self. And the mastermind is going to help us do that, because it's going to show us that mirror. And then all of a sudden, just like I said, the physiological response of me working with you is often I breathe deeper, I relax, and boom, I'm in parasympathetic. I feel safe in the world. And now it's a whole new ballgame.
Yes. Someone just asked me to, or asked us to share the course details. So to save time and just so we can have, value added conversation for everybody, there is a link in my current feed where it shows the mastermind. The entire syllabus is so comprehensive. So there's 7 modules over 3 months. We meet every 2 weeks for a full day. Basically, a morning is dedicated to theory, practice, teaching my methodology. And then in the afternoon, we take a short break. And then in the afternoon, I do actual coaching with people. And as I'm doing it, I explain to the group what I'm doing so you can, for yourself, not only resonate with their story, get your own liberation, but also for people that you care about in your own life, whether you're a coach, a yoga teacher, a nutritionist, a teacher, an executive, or a parent, pay that forward to the people that you care about. So it is, I mean, I just feel so, honored in a way that I get to do this work, because I think the world is set up in a way that is well intended, but most experts are trying to help people to solve their problems, which only manifest the same problem over and over, because it's reinforcing the idea that you have anxiety and I'm going to help you with your anxiety, or I'm going to help you with your weight problem, or I'm going to help you with your relationship problem. And the way that I look at it is you don't have any problems. You have a perspective based on the identity that you've become misidentified with that gives rise to the problems that you are now trying to overcome. But until you get rid of the you that was the generator of those problems, then you're just basically running around in circles, just trying different expert solutions. So when you dissolve the idea of you, tap into, as you eloquently said,
Hello? Oh,
hello, can you hear me now?
I can, yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Hopefully
That was
they can.
Instagram telling me that I'd hit my time limit. That's one of the ways that I manage my time on these social media devices.
Oh,
But anyway, we're good. So, as you were eloquently saying, in the absence of a constraint, which is the idea of ourself, that I'm not something, I talk about the negations, like I'm not good enough, I'm not loved, I'm not safe, I'm not worthy, right? There's a not. Feel that, right? When you have a not, you're actually in resistance to yourself. Who we are, as I assert, is timeless, boundless, powerful beings. But if I'm saying I'm not something, then I immediately create a form of resistance. That resistance is the precursor to all the human problems, right? Because if I am powerful, but I'm saying I don't matter, I do not matter, or I'm not good enough, then I'm in conflict with myself. And so that conflict is the dis-ease, which over time will cascade into our tissues and into our bodies as a sickness, or into our finances, or into our relationships. And so I'm getting rid of the knots in your system, both a play on words, right? Is taking care of any kind of constraint, limitation that is inhibiting the natural flow of your boundless energy, your boundless vitality, your boundless abundance, all of that. It's not that I'm giving you tips or solutions. I'm not giving the limited you ways to try not to be limited. I'm pointing out that you're not limited.
yeah.
And then it all just happens effortlessly.
Yeah. It's almost like the conscious mind, which is only 5% of the power, 5% working. It's like our lives are, because we're trying to be efficient beings surviving, we 95% of our feelings, emotions, behaviors, things that are going on in our body are automatic,
Yeah.
right? Based on programming. And it's just the body and mind's way to be efficient. And so it's that conscious mind is looking for tools to do something, to change. And you're just going straight to the root of the subconscious programming that is the kind of structure of how our energy is being, the dis-ease, right?
Yes. So again, if you just as a visual, think of someone being incarcerated, right? Someone is in prison and they have a big heart. Maybe, for whatever reasons they've been, misaccused. And so they're a good person. And they can say, I want to have a great relationship. I want to start a business. And they have all of these aspirational goals. and they have perhaps the intellect and the resources to do it. Doesn't matter. They're in prison. So people have the best of intentions for their own life. They want to live an extraordinary life. They want to feel abundant. They want to have love in their relationships. They want to have a vital body. But you don't know the prison that you're in that is the obstacle to all of those things happening naturally, right? What people have right now is a normalized experience of stress, of defeat, of failure, of apathy, of self-judgment. It's become normalized. And so what I'm pointing out is what has become normalized is not natural. It's normal, but not natural. Your natural state is abundant. Your natural state is limitless. Your natural state is love. Your natural state is power. These qualities exist, but they can't be accessed. They can't be realized if you're living in a subconscious constraint that you're oblivious to. And that's where we have compassion. What you can do, and I shared this on Dave Asprey's podcast the other day, and he was blown away by this statement. I said, what most people are doing are trying, unbeknownst to themselves, they're simply becoming the best version of their limited self.
Oof.
Right? If you really get that, it's like you live in a 500 square foot apartment or studio, but you're making it really beautiful. That's great, but you're not getting beyond 500 square feet. You're not throwing a wedding reception there. You're not having like some sort of sports meet there. But if you knock down 2 of the walls and find out that that's a room in a 50,000 square foot mansion, now you open up to an entirely new dialogue and what becomes available to you as a human being. That's what happens in the mastermind. We're knocking down the walls of your subconscious so that you tap into the limitlessness of your true being.
I mean, mic drop right there. That's so good. Most of us are becoming the best versions of our limited selves. And what you're doing is opening the door to, through you, the unlimited self and the person that you came in to live and experience in this life. That is so huge. And I saw a question from someone before that asked about, if I can't make it, it's every other Saturday, I think.
Yes.
For 3 months, but all of them are recorded, so you have access to them if you miss 1 or 2 of them.
Exactly. So it's all online. So that's why we have people from all around the world. I think we've had over 30 countries represented in the masterminds, which is amazing. People are getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning in Asia and Australia, and it's in Hong Kong. It's really special. But if you don't want to be that kind of dedicated and you're like, hey, I'm really into this, but I don't need to get up at 2. Don't worry, get up at 6 or whatever. You can watch the recording or you can watch it the next day. So it's all recorded. You have access to it. So whenever it's convenient for you. And yes, every other Saturday, starting this Saturday, so in 3 days. So these are the last 2 days to sign up. And yeah, I can't wait. It's the most moving experience. I truly, as humbly as I can state this, like I know I'm the one leading and it's my methodologies that people are inspired by, and it's truly life transforming. Like it literally is shattering people's invisible ceilings. But I get chills at watching a human being shift from a state of limitation to complete freedom in a way that they didn't even know was possible, right? It's like we don't know what we don't know. And this is why sometimes these conversations are beautiful, because people don't know what they're missing out on if they don't do it, right? So it's just for me to witness, and collectively as a group, when we all together see, like I can remember this one girl, Mars, who was such a beautiful girl. She first came on, she was about my 3rd person I spoke to, because people just put up their virtual hands and I don't know who the fuck I'm going to talk to. I don't know what they're going to present, right? And this was a big one. She was very quiet. Her room was quite dark. The blinds were down. It was hard to hear her. I had to keep saying, can you speak up a little bit? And her story was she's gay, but she'd been raped by 2 men, right? Pretty heavy, right? Like most people on here, they got their problems. We're humans. We go through a lot of shit. But that was a big story. And that's why she was very quiet. She didn't even expect me to pick on her. She was a little shocked. She's like, oh, I put my hand up as an exercise. She was trying to develop courage. It was so sweet. Anyway, cut to the very next session, like 2 weeks later. Well, in this case, it was a bigger gap. We had 4 weeks. She'd left her place. She'd gone to Hawaii. She wouldn't shut up when I was talking to her. It was so cute. People were like, wait, is that the same girl you just spoke to last session? And so to see the miracle of somebody coming out of their literal subconscious prison into an entirely new world of joy, vitality, possibility, and freedom, it just never gets old. It's just so beautiful. So
It is. It's true freedom, and and I think even the group set to work with you privately is very special, but the group setting is more powerful because you get just that collective energy, even if we're separated by miles and thousands of miles, just quantumly.
yes,
It's so powerful, and this is the only time you're going to do this course this year. You get for the people tuning in. For the Heal audience, you get $500 off,
yeah.
which is a great gift.
With the
generous.
code heal 500.
Heal
You just have to put in the
500.
code. Yeah.
And you can get all the information at petercrone.com, I think, /mastermind. And then if you're ready for freedom and you take the leap, put in Heal 500 for extra $500 off. It's the only time you're doing it this year. So it's like, if you're ready for freedom, it's like time to take the leap, I think.
Yeah, because so what's happening now is so many people are finding out about it, which is really flattering for me, the work. And so companies, corporations are now wanting me to do stuff for their groups, so this is the only time I'm going to be able to do it for the public. We'll see if there's so much demand later in the year, but this very unlikely based on my schedule because of other groups wanting for me to do that for their own employee set. So yeah, I can't wait. I mean, Saturday can't come soon enough. I get like so excited for, because I don't know who I'm going to meet. I mean, there's actually a lot of people, masterminders, who do it over and over. I think we've had a few done all four, and they just love it because not only do you get to, sometimes the syllabus for sure adjusts. I've got a lot of new content for this one, but also you just don't know what stories you're going to hear, right? And it's so moving. We're all so inspired by each other's evolutions and breakthroughs. So they're like, yeah, the first one, sure, I heard about Mars, and then somebody else who had that resentment towards their mother and had cancer, and then that went. But then in the next one, we got endometriosis, or somebody who was in an abusive relationship who then got out of that and realized she'd been the one abusing herself her entire life. And, everyone can relate to these stories, but they're so new, and it just gives us that new sense of opportunity and possibility when we hear somebody with something that we can so relate to. It's like, oh my God, I do the same thing. And who would I be and what becomes available if I didn't do that? I'd be free.
Yeah. Freedom sounds real good right now. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the work you do. I know you have, massive super fans on here.
Yeah.
And rightly so, because your work is changing the world and changing us, dissolving prison bars all over our minds.
Stepping into a new world. And Cambria just kindly put the link there if you missed it. It's just petercrone.com/mastermind. Last 2 days to sign up. Heal 500 will give you $500 off. Can't wait to see whoever wants to join. I promise you, it will be one of the most profound things you've ever done in your life. That's a guarantee.
I'm signing up. Who's with me? Who's with me, people?
Let's go.
All right. Well, we love you all. Thank you for being part of our communities. And by you doing the work on yourselves and peeling back the layers and breaking free, you are making the world a better place. We are being the change we wish to see in the world. So we commend you all too for the work you're doing and the commitment to personal freedom. And we love you all.
And also for people on here, if you want to do it, you can, you can't, but people who might, obviously just, share it around. Like, again, we've got about 48 hours left, maybe not quite, to sign up. And I know that you all care about loved ones, people going through things that this might benefit. So feel free to share this.
And, I know everybody's waiting for Peter Crone's book out there. It's coming, I promise. I get on his arse every day about it. But until then, check out the new Heal paperback.
Yes. Absolutely, grab it.
It's so good. It's a good reminder.
Yeah, and I basically share so much of the content of my book in the mastermind. So you're kind of, by joining that, you basically get the free book, and it's better because it's not just an audio; it's like live.
It's a pre-book. It's the pre-book. You're getting the goods before it's out. So awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks everybody. Links and all the info will be in the comments as well. I'll post this. So we'll save this video on Heal.
Perfect.
And
all right. Thanks, Kelly. Love you.
Okay. Mwah. Have a great day, guys.
See you. Bye.
Bye.